Crib Reactions is back with another episode. It's time to break down Ahsoka. Time to give you our thoughts and see where the heck has Ezra Bridger been. But we're coming back on the bridge, baby. It's your boy Chico Grande, Chico 2 times, with Felix Supreme 305. We're checking out Ahsoka episode 6.
And this is a roller coaster episode. It had me up, down, out of my seats. I'm still blasphemous. Blasphemy. I'm just lost. But this episode 6, this Crib Reactions, this is Ahsoka.
It's another Star Wars episode. It's time to get this episode started. But check out everything else we do in the description. Let me bring down the super pumping intro. I'll play that at the end. But I gotta bring in our epic, our background music. But we're gonna jump into episode 6.
Hold on, young Padawan.
What do you gotta say?
Play the music first.
Yes, man.
I gotta let them know what happened. So if you didn't know, this is episode 6. Previously on episode 5, they found Ahsoka lost in the sea after she was in a fight.
She was in the world between worlds with Anakin.
And Jason and Hera,
his mom,
found Ahsoka. They broke some rules. They broke the law. They boss was looking for him, but it didn't matter.
Oh yeah.
So
But Ahsoka basically took off in the Purgles. So she just trusted the Purgles. Her and Hera flew up to him, but then Hera ended up having to go back because she was getting in trouble. They were maybe gonna strip her generalness, her title.
And also Ahsoka, that's a real friendship.
So she let her go.
Unlike Sabine.
Ahsoka went in the Purgles. Sabine is still a traitor. Shin Baddie's still a baddie. And we haven't seen Thrawn yet. So let's basically jump into it so we can see what's going on with the episode. But bam, just like I said, Ahsoka's flying with the Purgles. You can see it here. I mean, this was a pretty epic view because we never seen hyperspace like this before, because hyperspace is typically you see the ships go through it, but that's almost like ship made. But with this, it's like natural hyperspace, so it had a lot more colors, a lot more rainbowness, and it was different to see it through the eyes of the Purgle.
That was
Would you fly in a whale's mouth?
Of course. To find Thrawn, I do it all.
What, you like Thrawn?
Man.
You're going for Thrawn. You always go for the bad guys. But then this is when Ahsoka's talking to your favorite character, Wangit, the robot. He was telling her stories.
Once upon a time.
Oh yeah, it was funny how he started off the stories by like a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, just like Star Wars started. But I also thought that there was a sudden jab because they talked about, there was a beginning part, a middle part, and an end part, kind of like the original trilogy and all that, the prequels and the sequels. And she was like, yeah, the first one, the one that came out first was the best. So it's funny, a lot of people thinking that like the original trilogy, but some people took it as like the first series, which was with the Clone Wars and all of that. So let us know what you thought, if that was a jab. But
this is also where Ahsoka tells him that, oh yeah, when I seen Sabine take off with the other people.
Oh yeah. He basically does admit that Ahsoka tells him that she didn't tell Hera that Sabine betrayed them, and she was like, I don't understand that, like why she did that. I thought she knew better.
Then she's like, she tried to blame herself. She's like, she wasn't ready yet. She wasn't ready. I'm like, she was a traitor. She was gonna trade it. She would have traded before she knew the secrets. After she knew the Jedi secrets.
She's missing her little boyfriend, her little boy toy, Ezra. But it says the Force provides you with insight. That's what Huang said. And basically saying that for her, maybe the only decision was Ezra and to go with them. Because she was like, why would she give in just to see Ezra? She could have ended it all and prevented a war. But Huang said, maybe, that's the only option for her. She saw no other way. So then this was...
Far, far away.
Bam. Sorry. Part 6, Far, Far Away. as you can see right
The
here. This
Whirlpool
was
Smart Range automatically
oh my
updates itself
Lord.
with features like air fry.
They're trying to
So you can
hijack
worry
this
less about
episode
Oh
with
man,
commercials.
and I should have known when this part came out. I was like, this makes so much sense. Once they shown where they were at, they finally showed Sabine. I was like, finally, so they didn't eat her.
Oh, you thought they ate her?
I thought I was gonna eat her. You never know.
Yeah, here he goes, Balin. Balin was checking in on her, and she was like, "We had a deal. What's up with the deal?" She was being real annoying. She was being real Sabine. The whole episode, she was crying about her deal, like, "Oh, you betrayed me, Balin," and Balin was just like, "Oh,
But I can see he was trying to. He's like, no, I'm not. I'm gonna keep my word.
I'm gonna keep it true to you, Sabine." And then here we go. Oh, they finally get out of hyperspace. So yeah, Sabine in the crew with Balin and Shimbati and Morgan Elsbeth. They get out of hyperspace. Let me see here. Let me find a good shot. So they separated from a ship and they started flying down. But I'm trying to find it here. Hold on. Because they were saying that like the planet that they landed was like the graveyard for the Purgle.
Yeah, the bones and all that stuff was like the little rings around it, like Saturn.
Yeah. Which I thought is weird. I think there's actually more to that when you're talking about the Purgle, because there has to be a reason that that's where they would go to die. And you see Balin talking about it later, where he thinks like that this may be like a place to like end the cycle of all these different places, being in different people being in power. But you can see here that they basically fly down and
In a smaller ship.
yeah, they break away. And then this is where they see the
Three witches.
the grandmothers,
Yeah.
because they had the mother, like the mother, was it Mother Talzin from the Clone Wars, who was like the mother to Darth Maul, and helped raise his brother Shavaz Opress. So these they think were like the original Night Sisters.
This gave me
These
like,
were the grandmothers.
this gave me Hercules vibes when Hercules was down there with in hell, and he had the old ladies that had the seeing eyeball, and they had like the little
oh
cut the string.
yeah.
And those three ladies here, and they had like the same. It was like the same power, same effects. I guess they can tell the future and everything.
Yeah, they seem like super witches.
Yep.
Let me see here. So they pull up on them. Let me bring this I want to change this music. There we go. Thank you kindly. DJ, play my jam. Oh, hyperspace moment. Put your hands up. But so yeah, let's get a close up on the witches. Here we go. Yeah, these witches look pretty dope. They were like the grandmothers, and like I said, that they were they talked to Morgan Elsbeth, and they're like, "You heard us call to you," and she said that you did well, ancestor, to come here, so that way we could help Thrawn escape. But I think Thrawn has some type of like a like partnership with them. Well, we know that they do, but I wonder why they were there as well. Like, I wonder why they never left. Because I know that a bunch of them left, but it's like, I don't know, how did they get stuck there? There's more answers. I feel like every episode, there's more questions than there is answers. And then they get to talking to him, and then even the witches hated on Sabine. They're like, Sabine sucks. She can't hang with us. We're gonna put lasers on her and drag her into jail.
The thing with the whole part right here, this is when I thought they were gonna feed her, sacrifice her, because they were talking about how like she's a Jedi, and I was like, what does that have to do with anything? What you finna feed her to like that monster in the Boba Fett TV show, the monster that lives underneath the
what, the Sarlacc?
Yeah,
the one that's the mouth, or the one that's the one that they killed, the like giant like sand.
No, the one they killed, the one that
Boba Fett fell in.
Yeah,
Sarlacc. Yeah, it's the Sarlacc.
I thought it was the Starlight.
Let me see. Oh yeah, I didn't understand, or I didn't really like that they were like, oh, like the stenches of Jedi. I thought they would be maybe looking more at Balin, because Balin was an ex-Jedi.
It probably was.
But they ended up putting the stuff around Sabine, and it's like Sabine doesn't have Force powers. Like, why would they even pick up on that? Like, why wouldn't they just think she's like a regular Mandalorian? I thought that was a little weird. Because if she has no powers, why would it be like, it stinks of Jedi? I didn't understand that. So let's see here. She basically, Sabine gets taken away.
Where's Ezra? Where's Ezra?
Yeah.
All she cares about is Ezra. I was so annoyed about that. Like, why do you keep? I was like, and then I had to look it up myself. Like, who is this Ezra person?
Oh yeah,
then
because if you're new to this channel, my co-host is more of a casual. I'm more of a hardcore. So he has not watched Rebels. He really hasn't seen only but a few episodes of Clone Wars.
I seen they're showing like Rebels, like they're saying like, oh, they're not lovers. They're just like really good, real close friends, but have that
But I mean, how
that relationship vibe. But they're just friends.
But I mean, like, how close are you that you were gonna put the whole universe on the line just to save your friend? If it was just your friend, I don't know if you would be like, my friend would understand. But if it's your boo, you need your boo boo.
I put the whole world on the line for you, Gavin.
Oh my God. Risk it for the biscuit. But Balin was standing off. We had some alone time with Balin and Shin Batty. And she was asking him, like, Master, what do you think about this? Like, what do you think's going on? And she was asking if she thought, basically, if Thrawn had the power. And he was like, it's not Thrawn. And he goes, I think they're running from something.
Oh, and
I think the witches are running from something. I think Thrawn's running from something. And he goes, I think that, like, what we'll find is, like, to the end of days here.
True. And then when it was waiting, and it was like, where's Thrawn? And he was like, oh yeah, he'll come shortly. I'm sitting thinking like, oh yeah, this is a trap. Thrawn isn't here at all.
Yeah, I was thinking it was a trap too, and I was also wondering, like, why would he not be there? Why would he just be running around? But then, so Balin and Shin Batty keep talking, and he told her about the, Jedi Order, and that it was the, the night that basically got burned down, Order 66 and all that. And then she was asking even, like, who is this Ezra Bridger? And he was like, oh, it's like a rogue Jedi, like. They weren't there he wasn't there when the Order was around. He was just trained alone. So she's like, oh, he's like me. And you're like, what the heck? We thought Shin Batty was a baddie.
And it was like, no.
She thought she was the evil one.
Then it was like, no. Then somebody was like,
he told her, like, I trained you to be much more than that. So it's like kind of training her in the Jedi ways, but to like use more powers than just the good powers. Like they kind of dabble in the Sith powers a little bit.
Well, then weren't they talking about how what's that?
He said he liked the idea of the Jedi, but the Jedi, it didn't work anymore.
No, Shin Batty. When it's talking about Shin Batty, how she's possibly like his child or something like that.
Oh yeah. Like some people, some fan theories are thinking that this could possibly be his daughter.
That's why he cares about her so much.
Yeah, I don't know. He's kind of put her out there though. He's like, oh, we got to stop Ahsoka, and he's like, she will slow her down, and that's like, he's gonna send her off. She's gonna get chopped up. I mean, he did strike down Sabine once. Maybe she should do it again. But I feel like in the next episode, she's going to end up turning the other way and helping Sabine and Ahsoka. I think Thrawn might kill Balin.
We'll see. Let's keep going.
Because R.I.P. the real actor, but he passed away in real life. And so I don't know if they're going to, if it was already written for him to not be in the end of the show. I'm pretty sure they were done filming, so I don't know if they maybe even possibly changed it afterwards, but it'll be interesting to see. But I really like the Balin character. I feel like it's been an excellent performance. But so they have their talk. It goes to Sabine crying in the cage. She's putting her hand on the wall like, maybe I got the Force powers. She sees the wall shaking, but no, she ain't doing nothing. It's actually Thrawn and his big giant Star Destroyer shaking the ground beneath them and pulling up on them. I thought it was pretty cool because there's actually a technique overseas. I don't remember if it was in Japan or China or if both places do it, but basically if like plates or stuff breaks, they'll infuse like the breaks with gold and like seal it, so that way it's like not broken anymore. So like, if you look at the Star Destroyer, you could see like at the messed up parts that it has like gold on it.
Oh,
so
okay,
if
makes
it's like
sense.
that same type of technique, and then as we see, the actual Death Troopers
Have gold on them too.
yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah, they had gold and stuff on them, and I think that maybe has something to do with the Night Sisters, but we'll get into that in just a second.
Here they go.
Yeah, so here pulls up Thrawn. Yeah, see, Night Troopers.
And they're saying like some of these night troopers are
I think they're dead.
they're dead. If they're definitely they died in the Clone Wars.
No, that was that after the Clone Wars. Because this is Thrawn has stormtroopers, so that was during the Emperor time period, like when Darth Vader was around.
Okay.
So this is after that, and so people were thinking like, man, it's and the Empire's done. The New Republic is there, so it's like they're thinking that these have to be like pretty much all dead. It's weird to think though, like you would have think some of them would have survived whenever Thrawn took off with Ezra in the starship, but I guess all of them pretty much died. I don't know. We'll find out if any of them are alive or if they're all true night troopers. Then he introduces his top night trooper. What was his name? I'm drawing a blank here. Let me see if they pull it up. Oh, Enoch. Sorry, Enoch. I found it right here. This is Enoch, captain of my guard. Well, thank you, Thrawn. I don't know. I didn't really like Thrawn as much. I think Thrawn, like as far as the animated version, that he was just like a stern, like type general, and this guy he looks kind of weird.
Yeah, I thought Thrawn was gonna be like a monster-looking type of person, like somebody a lot bigger.
Someone that put a little fear in your heart.
Yeah.
This Thrawn doesn't like scare me. I mean, besides like the blue skin and the red eyes, but I mean, like if he was a regular person, like if he didn't have the blue skin and red eyes, like I wouldn't be scared of that person at all.
True.
So yeah, Enoch, he looks crazy, man. He looks like a samurai. He also looks like
Mystique from X-Men.
Kind of, but I was gonna say like the Persians in 300, the Spartans. Remember whenever they
You talk about Thrawn? You talk about Thrawn?
I'm talking about the Enoch right there.
Oh, that's what Thrawn looks like. Mystique from X-Men.
Oh yeah. My bad. No, I was saying Enoch looks like one of the Persian like super troopers from the 300 movie.
Okay, I know what you're
You remember where they had like the crazy mask and they had like the all black outfits?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he looks like. So Thrawn finally shows up 6 episodes into this freaking series, and we see Thrawn. He does introductions, and they tell him that they have Sabine, and Balin speaks up and says that basically he thought she would be great use, and he was like, oh, I know you, General Balin. And he's like, oh, I'm not with the Jedi anymore. And he's like, well, that seems to be common. And so he's already like kind of shady towards him.
Why do you say that's common? Because he knows a lot of Jedi have. Is this after with Anakin turned to?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why he said, oh yeah, of course, y'all always trade because
Yeah, this is way out. Okay, because like Anakin and all that was the prequels, and then this is actually right after the original series. So this is after episodes like 6.
Okay.
So this is before the sequels with like Rey and Kylo Ren and all that. And this is after, like, you remember whenever they blew up the second Death Star with all the Ewoks, the little bears? This is like 5 years after that. Because the sequels with Kylo Ren and all that was like 30 years later. Yeah. From movie 6. So this is only 5 years after movie 6.
Okay.
It's weird though. Ahsoka was basically there doing the Clone Wars, which is the prequels, but she wasn't really in any of the original trilogy, or wasn't even around or mentioned. I would like to see like a book or comic series or something explaining like what happened to her, why she was gone.
What was she doing the whole time?
Yeah, basically. But let's see. I think they base it. Oh yeah, this is wherever they give Sabine that like wolf dog.
Yeah, and this part didn't make. I mean, yeah.
They gave her weapons back.
This part didn't make any sense. It was like, yo, yeah. She was like, oh yeah, we're gonna let you go and go find your friend. And then he was like, "What, for real?" I thought they were finna like chase her down, as soon as she walked out the door, just pop her in the back. But
you thought they were gonna try to pop her right away?
Yeah, but they gave her like a dog rat looking thing and say, "Just be on your way, leave."
Yeah, I mean, we could see that he's basically trying to use it as a way to secure that they don't make it. I mean, that he gets off and doesn't have any interference. But he's even sending Balin and Shin after to monitor him. And then he's even sending 2 guard units. And so it's kind of, weird that he's doing that. I don't feel like and it's kind of, well, the thing that I find that's weird is like, why hasn't he taken out Ezra? If he kind of knows his whereabouts, why has he not done the effort to mess with Ezra?
But why would he want to take out Ezra?
I mean, because
what's so special about Ezra?
He's his enemy.
Oh, I get. I don't even think he was really looking.
You have nothing better to do. You're stranded on a planet, and that what makes me think is like something weird is going on, because Ezra says that basically later on you find out. Well, let's continue, and then we'll get into that. Oh yeah, let me get off screen before we switch it. Okay, here we can see she gets her dog, or wolf, or guppy, whatever.
Whatever you want to call it. Possum.
Yeah, and then this is where Thrawn is telling Balin that she's on a fool's errand, that they're gonna track her.
And then that's the funny part. They was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna be leaving soon, and then if you get left, you get left." And then he turned around and be like, "Yeah, I need to go follow her." So that means y'all finna get left too.
Yeah, I was like, why wouldn't they catch on to that? You're like, they're gonna get left. They're gonna leave you. But then we pop up on Sabine. Right after she left,
made me mad.
She was scanning, and then she got shot right in the chest. But luckily, she has her Mandalorian armor, and it ended up just blowing up her skin.
Was by some bandits?
Yeah, it was some bandits, but they kind of look like ancient, almost like what is it? Ancient Japanese warriors, with the what is it? I forget where they like the samurai type stuff.
Then
they popped up on her. Look, she looks scared as heck.
Sabine ain't win no fight. She's been losing fights, 1-on-1 fights all the time until episode 6 happened. It was 1-on-7, and they let her win. Made no sense.
Yeah, I couldn't. I mean, but it's supposed to be like novices. She's be able to beat like some.
She ain't beat him until she pulled out that saber.
Oh, the one thing that I didn't like is this scene where Balin and Shin take off on their own dogs. The CGI right here was terrible. Like, it was like a 2-second clip, but I was like, what was that? Like, see, look. I don't know. I don't know also how the Star Destroyer is just like chilling there in like hover mode. Oh, and then they're loading up all of the...
Yeah, what's it loading with? Like energy?
It's like the Night Sisters, they say catacombs, so it's like tombs. So it's like caskets. So I wonder if they're taking a bunch of dead Night Sisters on board, so whenever they fly back, that they could go to the Night Sister planet in the Star Wars galaxy, which is Dathomir, which is where Darth Maul's from. And I wonder if they can resurrect all those Night Sisters.
Oh, and that's why it's about possibly resurrecting Darth Maul. That's the dude, the dude with the black and red face, with the saber with the
double-bladed sword. Yeah, I don't know if they'll resurrect him. But I think they're gonna resurrect like original ones of like their people.
Okay.
What's weird about Darth Maul's people is like they were ruled by the girls. Like the Night Mother, she was the leader, and she gave birth to like all the Night Sisters and the Night Brothers, which was like Darth Maul was the Night Brother. And so these are like the Night Grandmothers, and I wonder what type of like, if this is like their ancient kids, or I don't know. We're gonna find out. But it's getting really interesting. And remember to like, comment, subscribe if you're new to this channel. I've been into Star Wars since like the early 90s.
I'm going on year 3.
Whenever they had a New Hope back in movie theaters for the special edition, that's when I got into it. My co-host's family's always been into it, so he's learned by proxy. So he's kind of a Star Wars
aficionado.
No, casual.
I'm 3 years in.
You're longer than 3 years. You've been watching these movies since you've been a
young
child.
But on my own.
That's true. So then Sabine is walking because her dog took off on her the moment that the shit hit the fan.
Turn the back on him.
And then I thought this was weird
It was
that
payback.
like
It's karma.
the dog came back because it's like the dog just met her.
Uh-huh.
Why would this dog even care?
I mean, dogs are one of the.
But it's not even like a real dog. It's like an alien dog. It's like she just met her. Like why would the dog would have just left and be like, I'm free now.
Why don't the dog have wings? That's what I want to know.
Oh my god. But yeah, I thought that was kind of weak, where the dog comes back and she's scolding the dog like it was her dog she's known her whole life and she's never met it.
You left me. I can't believe you left me. Like, I don't even know your name, girl.
So then they basically go to this riverbed. They're looking around. Yeah, this is where they find the Ninja Turtles.
Pretty much, that's what it was. Hermits.
Yeah, it's little hermits. Put in the comments below. I forgot what it is. We're doing we do quick breakdowns. We don't do the super duper know every little doppelganger out there. But we're going to give it to you and give our thoughts. But Sabine basically pops up. Where is this guy? Okay. Let me get a picture of him. Here he is. And you said you had hermit crabs growing up?
What? No.
Didn't you tell a story about you grew up with hermit crabs?
The fish tank?
Like the little hermit crab? No, they're not in the fish tank. They're in like a little container.
No, I saw with a fish tank.
You threw your hermit crab in a fish tank?
The hermit crabs have little shells.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
You put them in water?
Yes, they live in water.
No, they live on the little sand.
No.
This man's killing crabs. He's drowning. That's why none of his hermit crabs made it. He drowned them all.
They be in water too.
But for how long?
Oh, wow.
So yeah, you drowned all of them.
Oh my god.
But basically, the hermit crab's like, "Oh, I see you got Rebel on your shoulder pad there."
So do
and
I.
it's like, "Oh, I got a little Rebel necklace.
He pulled out his.
Take me to your Rebel village."
Put out his chain.
You know who Ezra Bridget is? Yeah.
It's like who? And it's Ezra Bridger.
Oh yeah, this is where we were talking about earlier, where it goes back to Balin talking to Shin, and she was like talking about who is this freaking Ezra dude, and he was like he was too young, and then she was like, oh, he's like me, he's like a nomad or like a trained off the books Jedi, and he's like, no, you're much more than that, Shin, you're a baddie. Really? Can you see it?
Yes.
She's the baddie. But this goes on. God dang, she spent a lot of time with the freaking dog. They finally get to the hermit village, and after all this time, there's freaking Ezra looking like a hippie extra from Woodstock.
And she's talking about like why? It's like he's like, oh, you found me. He's like, yeah, it'd have been a lot easier if you had told everybody where we was going. And he was like, I didn't even know where I was going, but my plan worked. I'm like, wow, really? How is that your plan, to get lost and then you knew somebody was going to find you? But I mean, it is what it is.
It looks like Ezra was hitting his blinker too.
You know,
looks
so
like that's what he's been doing for a handful of years. Put in the comments below if you know how many years supposedly that Ezra's been gone from the end of Rebels to now. Has it been like 3, 5, 7 years?
Probably. But I mean, this part was good. I mean, I wonder what Israel was doing with the little hermit crab people. Was he protecting them? Was he like their protector and savior?
I think he met them.
Does he have a lightsaber?
Yeah, he did. Remember, she has his old one. The green one was his old one.
Oh, but right now he doesn't.
You know
have
what
one.
was weird is he had a lightsaber in Rebels that it was like a pistol saber, so it had like a nubbin on it, so it was like a gun, but it could also do the lightsaber.
Okay, fancy.
So it was the only one I'd seen like that. But this is where I really got mad at the show. This episode was great until Sabrine talks to Ezra. And Ezra looks like he looks like a clean cut hippie. He looks like he's a rich hippie. For him for living on the freaking like Earth or whatever planet when just living with these hermit monsters, like this isn't it, man. And then they go into it and she doesn't even want to give him the truth about how she got there, how like she's not getting him home, and how they're basically going to be stuck. And he's like,
together.
And he's like, I can't wait to go home. He said that like 3 times, and she's like, yeah. You ain't never going. Look, this is him being happy. Home. But Ezra's not going to make it home, or we're going to have to find out. And then it'll go back to Thrawn and them. And
This is what Thrawn says. I thought you said I feel another Jedi coming, and then.
oh, that's when the Night Grandmothers came in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they said, I thought you said Ahsoka was dead. He's like, she is. I said. Then he's like, I thought you knew never to doubt a Jedi.
Yeah.
And then she was like, I don't. He's like, well, you doubted Balin.
Oh yeah. And then they started talking about Balin, and he's like, he was once a Jedi. I might as well regard him as flawed, thinking that he might switch sides and work with Ahsoka and Sabine at a given point, because he knows Ahsoka's a Jedi and Sabine's trying to be one.
Mm-hmm.
And and that's what he said, basically, that they're going to consider Ahsoka Tano alive until we know otherwise. And it was funny that they were saying that, because I think the Night Mother's coming right here. Did they?
Yeah, actually, come. She asked for
The
some
Night
of her
Grandmothers?
her dark magic.
Yeah. One thing I will see is, like, when they're doing these talks in the ships, man, they need to turn the lights on. Sometimes
True.
it feels like they're talking in the dark. Oh yeah, great mothers, that's what he calls them. I shall once require the aid, he says, of your dark magic. Look, let's see, right there, of your dark magic.
So we don't know what the dark.
I mean, since he says again, I think it has to be that he has his undead troopers. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing.
Grandmothers. Oh yeah, because they said they saw like a thread of destiny or something like that.
And that was the end.
Was that the end of it? Man, that episode flew by.
It did flew by. It wasn't a lot going on, but I mean, they said in episode 7. Well, I think in episode 7, this is when Ahsoka and Sabine are finally gonna meet up. That's gonna take a long time for them to meet up, and then the grand finale is probably they're gonna
Shin Baddie fan shot.
that's when they finna witness Balin get killed.
Oh yeah. Shin's gonna switch when Balin gets killed.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna join
Ahsoka's
the
not
team.
even gonna fight. They're gonna witness it.
I'm down.
First.
I'm down for it. I'm down for Shin joining the good guys. So I did not want her to get off by Ahsoka.
True.
Because Ahsoka would do no mercy.
But did
You
this
think she would lose a hand, an arm, or a leg?
did this episode live up to the hype? Was it better than the episode 5 one?
No, I still like episode 5 more, just because it had a lot of Anakin, Hayden Christensen, and I felt like he absolutely killed it that episode, and I loved all the Clone Wars flashbacks, but I still really liked this episode. I saw Josh from Den of Nerds, shout out him, saying that he actually liked this episode better.
You don't even like anything.
He's been really coming back around to Star Wars, that he likes this episode better than last episode, which is surprising. Star Wars theory, also check him out. We watch him from time to time, and he was saying that he liked last episode's episode better, but mine's purely just because of how much Hayden was in it. I hope that he'll be back for episode 7 or 8 with an appearance.
Okay.
So we'll see if that happens. But let's go ahead and rate this episode 1 out of 10.
I'm giving it like an 8.7.
You're gonna give it an 8.7?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 9.2.
Okay.
I was gonna give it a 9.5, but that whole thing with Sabine still being shisty, she pops up on Ezra and is like, "Oh, I'm here to save you," and he's like, "Oh, I can't wait to go home," and she like has no ship and is gonna get them struck there. And then the whole thing about Ezra just looking like a hippie, but like a new hippie that just went to the hippie store. Like, why are you so clean and manicured whenever you've supposedly been stuck on these treacherous lands for so long?
On basically the graveyard.
Yeah, but check out our Star Wars podcast playlist. We got a whole bunch of Star Wars podcasts. We reviewed Book of Boba. We've done all the Ahsoka episodes, the Ahsoka trailers. We did a couple of Obi-Wan reactions on that. We did a few Andor episodes. So we got a whole playlist of Star Wars content. Click that below in the description. Let me turn off this other music so we can get the heck out of here in a minute. But we do really appreciate y'all checking in with us every week. You've been getting the views going up on every episode, so we appreciate that. Check out our podcast, Tales from the Crib. We do a regular podcast on current events and sports. Check out TFTC Sports. We're covering NFL and football picks, so if you're into that, check out TFTC Clips. We cut up our podcast there. Check out TFTC Gaming if you like playing new games like 2K, Star Wars, Dragon Ball Z, wrestling, UFC, all that good stuff. And check out this channel, Crib Reactions. We got over 6K subs. Get us to 7, 8, 9, 10K. And put in the comments below what other Star Wars content you want us to do. But yeah, I think I'm going to stick with a 9.2.
All right, I need y'all to comment below what y'all rating the video. I'm giving 8.7. Cole's giving it a 9.2. But you already know where you at, man. This is Crib Reactions. This is Ahsoka episode 3. Episode 6.
God damn, co-host. I'm about to throw you out of the starship. I'm about to eject those Cedo, cuz. But thanks for tuning in. We'll definitely see you at the next episode. And let us know what you're looking forward to in the Star Wars universe. But thanks for tuning in. We're going to get out of here. We will see y'all later.